Most people think ginger either grows well or it doesn't. They blame the climate, the soil, or even the seed pieces, but almost nobody looks at how the plant is managed above the soil. That's the quiet mistake that limits your yield. Ginger actually responds powerfully to pruning, if you do it with intention. Done right, pruning doesn't shrink your harvest, it multiplies it by redirecting the plant's energy underground, where the real crop forms. If you've ever grown tall, leafy ginger but ended up with disappointing rhizomes, this is probably the missing piece. Ginger isn't just a root crop, it's a rhizome, so it stores energy horizontally underground. Those leafy shoots above ground, their only job is to feed that storage under the soil. The bigger your harvest depends on how efficiently those leaves feed the rhizome. Too many shoots compete with each other. Too few, and you limit energy production. Pruning is the tool that brings balance to this whole system. When you leave ginger unmanaged, it wastes energy maintaining excess foliage instead of focusing on rhizome growth. Strategic pruning shifts that energy right back where you want it, making fatter rhizomes. But when does pruning actually help, and when does it hurt? Prune too early, and you weaken the plant. Prune too late, and it does nothing. Timing is everything. Your first pruning window opens once the plant has at least 4 or 5 strong shoots and is about 30 to 40 centimeters tall. At that point, the rhizome is established and ready to respond. Never prune ginger seedlings or young transplants. They need every leaf to build that root mass early on. Not all ginger shoots are created equal. Thin, weak, or crowded shoots drain energy without adding much. Those are the ones you want to remove. Leave the thickest, healthiest shoots spaced evenly apart. Those are your energy producers. This also improves airflow, reduces disease pressure, and channels nutrients into rhizome expansion instead of just feeding leaves. Always make clean cuts at soil level with a sharp tool. No tearing or twisting, or you could damage the rhizome below. As ginger matures, older leaves at the bottom start yellowing or drooping. These leaves aren't doing much anymore, but still sap resources. Go ahead and trim yellowing or damaged leaves to relieve stress and let more light reach the younger, productive ones. Never remove healthy green leaves late in the season, or you'll shrink your harvest. When you prune wisely, the plant shifts its hormones downward, sending more sugars and auxins to thicken the rhizome instead of making more shoots. That's why well-pruned ginger usually produces fewer but much larger rhizomes compared to unpruned plants, which make lots of small, thin pieces. After pruning, you've got a perfect window to feed your ginger. Mix 1 cup of finished compost in 10 liters of water and let it steep for 12 hours. Pour that around the plant right after pruning to fuel microbial activity and rhizome growth. No shock, all gain. Avoid high nitrogen fertilizers now because those will just push more leaf growth, not rhizome development. Pruned ginger loves stable moisture and temperature. Mulch with dried leaves or straw about 5 to 8 centimeters deep, keeping a gap around the stems. Mulch keeps the soil moist, protects roots, and feeds soil organisms that help your rhizomes bulk up. Water deeply but less often. Think steady moisture, not wet-dry stress cycles. Strategic pruning also keeps your plants healthier. Thick ginger foliage can trap humidity and encourage fungal diseases. By thinning out the canopy, you open things up for better airflow, which keeps your leaves happy and extends their photosynthetic power well into harvest time. That's why traditional ginger plots often outperform crowded greenhouse beds. Managed ginger matures more evenly and develops thicker, more aromatic rhizomes that store better and taste better. Skip pruning, and you'll get smaller, irregular pieces that ripen all over the place, making harvest a guessing game. A few things to avoid: don't cut all shoots at once, don't prune during extreme heat or drought, and never remove more than 1/3 of the total foliage at any time. Pruning is a conversation with your plant, not an order. So, why isn't this technique more popular? Big farms want speed and uniformity, not long-term plant health or flavor. But, as a home gardener, you can use these old-school techniques for huge gains in harvest and quality. Pruning works best alongside living soil, organic mulch, and steady nutrition. When these all come together, ginger can finally hit its potential. Once you pull up those thick, heavy rhizomes from a well-pruned plant, you'll know pruning isn't optional, it's essential. If this changed how you grow ginger, subscribe to Nature's Blueprint, share it with a gardener still letting ginger grow wild, and let's bring some real wisdom back to home food gardening.